I just put these two tough questions for us that how can we provide support when and where they encounter a problem? If I translate these questions, the underlying problem is that we, as an L&D professionals, are not there when they face with an issue. We might be there when we teach them, but we are not there when they have an issue. So how can we manage that we try to help them to solve a situation, or how can we customize what they get instead of what's available? Many companies put together menus like a learning catalog, which is not bad, I'm not saying this, but it's not applicable. So all I'm talking about is behavioral change, not just learning. So what we did here, easy. We built around situations. If I remember back when I was an executive in Europe with several big companies like IBM for 13 years, if I just call it back, I mean, did I have an issue or a problem or a dilemma in every situation I was? No, I didn't. Were there certain moments when I had a dilemma? Yes, I was. Yes, I did have it. So what we did, that we identified about 120 about the most common situations where the managers may have a dilemma. And what we try to do, we try to formulate also, like in a dilemma, it's a question. How can I do it? What should I do now? I'll give you an example. I'm sitting in a meeting which is really boring and it gets stuck. Do you know what's going to happen in the meetings? Managers will do like this. Sometimes they post their cats on Facebook or whatever. But they start to play with their cell phones. This is what you can experience in any boring meeting. So what if we have an application where you just type it, hey, but the meeting is boring. Do you have any idea what I can do? I just got a very beautiful email from one of our clients, one of the managers, and he just wrote me that he just went through some suggestions, and one of them grabbed his attention and said, hey, man, I've got an idea. And he managed to keep the ball rolling on that meeting. So this is how maybe you can think of a little bit of a behavioral change rather than teaching something. So if you ask me, maybe it's a consideration how you can build around the most likely situations. Not all the situations. I understand we cannot cover all, but it should be around the most likely ones. The second thing is we should keep it simple. If we want them to use it in situ, then it should be simple. I've got a beautiful story for this. Once I've been in a conversation with an L&D professional in Europe, and he asked for a demo of the application, and he said, we like it, but to be honest, it's too simple. We surveyed about 2,000 users. We've got about 2,000 managers in the system today. Do you know what was the second best thing they rated our application on? We like it because it's simple. So there might be a gap between what we as L&D professionals think the managers need and what they actually need. So this is always a question, always interesting to compare data with our beliefs, which help, and what they really think is helpful for them. Second, that if you want them to solve an issue or a situation, it must be focused. You know how we do it? Can you see videos here? Can you see links here? No, you can't. Why? Because I want them to solve that particular issue. If I add a video, what's going to have with the focus? If I add more links, he can browse for more content. It opens even wider. So what we specifically did, of course you can add videos, but a different section, because here we wanted them to solve that particular challenge they have. So it must be focused. I would give you another example. This is also kind of a feedback we got from the managers, that one of the users. He said that I had a hiring freeze. I could not hire anybody for 6 months in my team. And 6 months later, I received a hiring ticket, and I was just approaching to the meeting room where the candidates sat. And I was just thinking that, shit, it was 6 months before when I just had a chance to conduct an interview. What the hell I should do? Oh, Jesus, I've got something on my phone. And you know what? He wrote us an email that he made a much better interview than he did without the application. Did he make a perfect interview? No. Did he make a step better? Yes, he did. So this is what we think of, what we started to think of, that it's enough if it's one step better. Maybe it shouldn't be 2, shouldn't be 3. Maybe it's just one step better, it's a little bit better. So we wanted to keep them focused. So this is how we structured the content in the solution, that it must be text, it must be really focused. And the third one, which I really love when I talk to people having learning management systems, that they say that, oh yeah, it's so widespread. We use crazy simple and linear logic. Because if we want them to focus, if I add, more trees and you can go here and there, lost the focus. So what we, simple one, you can, as you have seen, ask a question, have an answer, and I will explain how to, a little bit later, how to do a follow-up. And those ones who do the follow-up develop, and those ones who don't do the follow-up, they don't develop that much. So this is really what the data says. So what we intended with KPMG, that we wanted to have a linear logic, simple and easy.